Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Journey with Vijay Kumar Shrivastav. Today we are going to study the topic Operation Flood, the White Revolution. First, introduction about Operation Flood. Operation Flood was launched on 13th January 1970 and it was the world's largest dairy development program. Operation Flood was a landmark project of India's National Dairy Development Board (NDDB). Operation Flood program transformed India from a milk deficient nation into the world's largest milk producer, surpassing the United States of America in 1998, and India was contributing about 17% of global output in 2010-11. Within 30 years, it doubled the milk available per person in India and made dairy farming India's largest self-sustainable rural employment generator. It was launched to help farmers direct their own development and give them control of the resources they create. All this was achieved not merely by mass production, but by production by the masses, and the process has since been termed as the White Revolution. The Anand pattern experiment at Amul, a dairy cooperative, was the engine behind the success of the program. The earlier experience through the Anand Development Project was the inspiration for the program Operation Flood. Vijay Kumar was the chairman and founder of Amul, who was named the chairman of National Dairy Development Board (NDDB) by then Prime Minister of India Lal Bahadur Shastri. Korean thrust the program towards success and has since been recognized as its architect. The National Dairy Development Board in 1969 designed a dairy development program to lay the foundation for a viable, self-supportive national dairy industry. The program sought to link rural milk production to urban milk marketing through these cooperatives. In July 1970, the technical assistance from the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) and the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO), the program was launched as Operation Flood. Operation Flood is the program that led to the White Revolution. It created a national milk grid linking producers throughout India to consumers in over 700 towns and cities and reducing seasonal and regional prices variations while ensuring that producers get a major share of the profit by eliminating the middleman. At the bedrock of Operation Flood stands the village milk producers cooperatives, which procure milk and provide inputs and services, making modern management and technology available to all the members. Back in 2014, all the dairy majors of India, along with the Indian Dairy Association, decided to observe the birthday of Vijay Kumar on November 26th as National Milk Day. Vijay Kumar is known as the father of White Revolution and he was the architect of Operation Flood. We will go through honors of Vijay Kumar. In 1963, he was awarded with Raman Magsaysay Award. In 1965, Padam Shri from Government of India. In 1966, Padam Bhushan Award from Government of India. In 1986, he was recognized as Krishi Ratna Award from Government of India. In 1986, Waterloo Peace Prize Award from Carnegie Foundation, Netherlands. In 1989, he was awarded with World Food Prize from USA. In 1993, International Person of the Year Award from World Dairy Expo. And in 1999, Padam Vibhushan Award from Government of India. Here to study the networking of Operation Flood. The working pattern can be defined as creation of a national milk grid linking milk producers, connecting 700 towns and cities, Village milk producers cooperatives procure milk from villagers. The cooperatives provide services and make modern technology and management available to members. There were removals of middlemen from in-between processes. Seasonal and regional price variations were reduced, and producers get major share of profits. India produces around 17% of the world milk production. About 80% of the milk production in the country is in the organized sector, while the remaining 20% is shared equally by the cooperatives and private dairies. In India, over 1.5 lakh village-level dairy cooperative societies spread over 265 districts in the country, which collects about 26 million liters of milk per day. Now we will go through India's milk production status. In 2017-18, the total milk production was around 176.3 million tons. If we will see the growth from 2012 to 2018, there is significant growth from 132 million tons to 176 million tons. Every year there is a growth recorded, and now India is top milk producer in the world. If we will see the global top 5 milk producers, India is ranking first. Second is USA, third is China, fourth is Pakistan, and fifth Brazil. So India is in the leading position. Now to study the history behind the White Revolution and Operation Flood. Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, Prime Minister of India, visited Anand on 31st October 1964 for inauguration of the cattle feed factory of Amul at Kanjari. As he was keenly interested in knowing the success of this cooperative, spent a whole night with farmers in a village, even had dinner with a farmer, discusses his wish to Mr. Varghese Kurian, who was then the general manager of Kaira District Cooperative Milk Producers Union, known as Amul, to replicate this model to other parts of the country for improving the socio-economic conditions of the farmers. As a result of this visit, the National Dairy Development Board NDDB was established at Anand in 1965. During 1964-65, Intensive Cattle Development Program ICDP was introduced in the country, in which a package of improved animal husbandry was given to cattle owners for promoting the White Revolution in the country. Later on, to increase the speed of the White Revolution, a new program named Operation Flood was introduced in the country by the National Dairy Development Board in 1970. Operation Flood Program Implementation. Operation Flood was implemented in 3 phases, Phase 1, Phase 2 and Phase 3. Under Phase 1, the period was from 1970 to 1980, which was financed by the sale of 126,000 tons of skimmed milk powder and 42,000 tons of butter oil gifted by the European Union Committee (EEC) through the World Food Programme. NDDP planned the program and negotiated the details of European Union Committee assistance. For the successful implementation of the program, certain aims were defined in the initial stage of Phase 1. One such aim was the improvement in the marketing strategy of milk in the metropolitan cities to accomplish the goals. During its first phase, Operation Flood linked with 18 of India's premier milk sheds with consumers in India's 4 major metropolitan cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta and Chennai. The commodities were recombined as liquid milk and sold in these cities at prevailing market prices that went in for building the cooperative dairies under the program, while capturing the urban market for rurally produced milk. Operation Flood Phase 1 was originally meant to be completed in 1975, but it eventually listed until the end of 1981, and India had 13,000 village dairy cooperatives covering 15,000 farmers during this period. To root the gifted commodities and funds under Operation Flood, the Government of India set up the Indian Dairy Corporation IDC in 1970, which was later merged with NDDB in 1987. By focusing on producers with a small resource bases, animal and land holding in potential milk states, Operation strived to generate a flood of milk in the rural areas and create a flow into the cities. This flow was sustained by linking milk production to its marketing through modern processing facilities. The major advantage of taking milk and not cattle from villages into cities was the convenient, economic, and scientific management of the milk animals in milk sheds through improving breedings, feeding, and healthcare practices. Operation Flood's second phase was from 1981 to 85. Operation Flood's phase second increased the milk sheds from 18 to 136. 290 urban markets expanded the outlets for milk. To link these milk sheds to the city markets and ensure a year-round sustained milk supply, the national milk grid with storage and long-distance transport facilities was created. By the end of 1985, a self-sustaining system of 43,000 village cooperatives covering 42,50,000 milk producers had become a reality. Domestic milk powder production increased from 22,000 tons in the pre-project year to 1,40,000 tons by 1989. All of the increased coming from dairies set up under Operation Flood. The prime objective of Operation Flood's second phase was to establish a modern and self-sustaining dairy industry, building on the foundation of Operation Flood Phase 1 to meet the nation's need in milk and milk products. For Operation Flood's second phase, donated commodities were received directly from the European Economic Community (EEC), 186,000 tons of skimmed milk powder and 76,000 tons of butter oil. In this way, European Union Committee gifts and World Bank loan helped to promote self-reliance. Direct marketing of milk by producers' cooperatives increased by several million liters a day. All of the enhancement in production were simply because of the dairies set up under Operation Flood. Built on the designs of Phase 1, the second phase of Operation Assistant Dairy Development Programs in Karnataka, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh were created. Operation Flood Phase 3 was from period 1985 to 1996. The third phase of Operation Flood focused on consolidating the milk procurement, processing and marketing infrastructure created under Operation Flood Phase 1 and Phase 2. Operation Flood Phase 3 was funded from the internal resources of National Dairy Development Board as well as through a World Bank loan, from where the credit of $365 million and proceeds from the sales of European Union Committee gifted dairy commodities. Operation Flood's Phase 3 consolidated India's dairy cooperative movements, adding 30,000 new dairy cooperatives to the 42,000 existing societies organized during Phase 2. Milk sheds peaked to 173 in 1988 to 89, with the numbers of women members and women's dairy cooperative societies increasing significantly. Phase 3 gave increased emphasis to research and development in animal health and animal nutrition. Innovations like vaccines for theileriosis, bypass protein feed, and urea molasses mineral blocks all contributed to the enhanced productivity of milch animals. From the outset, Operation Flood was conceived and implemented is much more than a dairy program. Rather, dairying was seen as an instrument of development, generating employment and regular incomes for millions of rural people. Operation Flood can be viewed as a 20-year experiment confirming the rural development vision as per World Bank report. The final phase of the program emphasized to improve the productivity and efficiency of the dairy sectors for long-term sustainability. By the time phase 3 ended in 1996, there were 73,300 dairy cooperatives and over 9.4 million farmers members with Operation Flood Association. Now to study the significance of Operation Flood. The White Revolution in India having role in reduction of malpractices by traders and merchants. It ensured that the producer get a major share of the price consumers pay by cutting out middlemen. Operation Flood also played an important role in eradicating poverty and made India the largest producer of milk and milk products. Operation Flood helped in empowering the dairy farmers with control of the resource created by them, and it helped them in directing their own development. The bedrock of the program was village milk producers cooperatives, which procure milk and provide inputs and services, making modern management and technology available to members. Operation Flood platform created platform to connect milk producers with the consumers of more than 700 cities and towns, and throughout the country a national milk grid was formed. The revolution also reduced regional and seasonal price variations, ensuring customer satisfaction, and at the same time improved the living standards of the rural people and led to the progress of the rural economy. The White Revolution ended India's dependence on imported milk solids. Not only the nation met with local dairy needs but also started exporting milk powder to many foreign nations. Genetic improvement of milking animals also increased due to crossbreeding. As the dairy industry modernized and expanded, around 10 million farmers started earning their income from dairy farming. Objectives of White Revolutions and Operation Flood in India can be described as creating a flood of milk, increased milk production, augmented rural incomes, means increasing rural incomes of farmers, reasonable prices for consumers, and increased income of and reduced poverty among participating farmers while ensuring a steady supply of milk in return. And the features behind success of White Revolution and Operation Floods are adoption of new methods for cattle and animal husbandry, altering the composition of feed ingredients in different proportions, and economic and scientific management of milk animals in milk sheds through improved breeding, feeding and healthcare practices. Even after success of White Revolutions and Operation Flood, there were some criticism and drawbacks reported, which can be defined as imported breeds of cattle have caused decimation of Indian breeds because importance of Indian breeds reduced. Foreign breeds give higher yields but require more feed and are not suited to Indian conditions. Focus on dairy sectors during this period was at the cost of development, research and extension work in other areas of Indian agriculture. Here we will go through the contribution of states in milk production in India on the basis of year 2017-18. Among the milk production, Uttar Pradesh ranks first, having contribution of around 17.6%. After that, Rajasthan, which is contributing 10.5%. Andhra Pradesh on third rank, contributing 9.6%. Gujarat having 4th position with 7.7% contribution of milk production. Then Punjab with 7.3%. Madhya Pradesh is contributing around 6.6%. Maharashtra share is 6.5%. And Haryana having the contribution of 5.3%. Tamil Nadu is ranking with 5.2% and Bihar 5.1%. And other states are contributing 18.6%. At the conclusion, it can be said that this operation was launched to help farmers to ensure their own development, placing control of the resources they created by their own hands. All this was achieved not merely by mass production, but by production by the masses. So this presentation was all about Operation Flood and the White Revolution. Hope this will be useful to all of you. Thank you very much. I have given here my YouTube channel details, Journey with Vijay Kumar Shrivastav. Having request, please visit the channel, subscribe it, and provide your kind and valuable feedback. Thank you.